So I'm out here just on a little evening walk, just watching the sunset and the sky and the birds' song, listening to the birds and just taking in the scenery as the day draws to a close, and thinking of how never again in time will this exact circumstance occur. The sun in that exact position and the clouds in those exact positions and configurations, and that exact bird song, and me being here, it will never repeat again. And you think, or I think, how each day is unique. It's quite interesting, I think. It will never be repeated again. It's never been repeated before. Or has it? Of course, you believe the theory that the universe has since forever expanded and then contracted, and everything's run backwards and forwards again. Does it happen over and over and over again? Interesting thought. But, well, I'm going to put this out there with the hope that it will find those who it's meant to find. I saw an interesting little video this evening on Instagram, which was a delightful mix. The song Outro by M83, which is an incredibly provocative piece of music. Check it out if you haven't heard it. It's hard to describe exactly what it is. It's not really a song in the traditional sense, but it's one that, whatever it is, it's sort of very sonically charged and able to provoke a very strong emotional response. I often found myself weeping when I listened to it. It's a very, very powerful piece of, I use the word music very loosely, which might make sense if you actually listen to it, but they had this, and then they had some quotes by Alan Watts, or recordings of Alan Watts speaking over it. He was a very interesting man. A lot that was very thought-provoking by him. And it was sort of talking about the fear of being alone. I mean, we're all alone in a way, aren't we? But he sort of said in there that, along the journey you will meet those who are supposed to be there with you as they will meet you. So again, I put this out there in the hope that I could encounter some souls who are coming along on this journey. I mean, on that score, the last few years, the last 4 years, I've met so many incredible people, and I'm very privileged to have become good friends with. It's nice to have a small but close circle around one. Yeah, very grateful for that. And I'm intrigued to see what more is to come. Who else is out there? Which is an intriguing thought when I consider that, I think when I think of the things that I'm interested in and the things I enjoy doing, and where I live my life, it's distinct. I'd be hesitant to use the word unique, but I certainly haven't met anybody else quite doing all the combination of things that I do. you know, travelling around the country in a vintage Land Rover and dressing like a hobbit and listening to a wide variety of really out there kind of music. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I got a little Bluetooth speaker for the Land Rover. Because it doesn't have a stereo or anything in it, but it's, you know, the Bluetooth speaker's pretty good. I can hear it pretty clearly over the engine. I was listening to Egyptian jazz music that someone had made somehow, and you know, I'm driving this 60-year-old Land Rover. I can't remember where I was. I was driving around anyway, listening to this music, and I'm thinking, I don't believe that there is anybody else in the world driving around in a vintage Land Rover with a kind of slightly out there sense of style, personal style, listening to Egyptian jazz music. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Because the other side of that equation is, you know, all the people who are the same, you know, over and over and over again, the same. They look the same, sound the same, act the same. Same thoughts, all programmed in. And then I think they don't really get to come out here and enjoy this beautiful sunset. And they're stuck at home watching football and eating whatever it is that they eat, and, you know, watching soap operas. And I don't think I could live like that. I don't mean any offence to those people, but that's definitely not for me. You know, but yeah, it would definitely be nice to find some people, you know, on the same sort of vibe. I mean, I actually noticed there was something on Instagram today. It looked like a really cool page. It was like, you know, outdoorsy kind of stuff for me, for people, but it was aimed at women, and like, that's cool, you know. I completely understand why they're doing that, but it's a shame there isn't something for men, or for, you know, men and women together. You know, because it was like, you know, it was sort of create little groups and go to festivals and go hiking and do retreats and things, you know. I mean, I'm sort of peripherally involved with a couple of people who are kind of doing things of that nature, but yeah, it would be fun to do that kind of thing, because the reality is, doing everything by yourself, it is tiring, guys. It takes it out of you. It really does. And yeah, I mean, even though, like I said, I'm very grateful for some pretty good friends I've got around me, but it's that there's still a missing element, you know. It's hard, especially when I consider, you know, it's my birthday next month. I'm 45, and I think, I don't know how that's happened, but here I am, almost 45, never been married, no children, and, you know, it's disappointing. But look at that sun, just going down, and there's a little contrail from a aeroplane, probably taking people off on holiday somewhere. Look at it, beautiful. Aren't we privileged to experience this? Feel the wind. There's this amazing beauty all around us, and I don't know, some people don't really seem to take time to appreciate it. Oh well, I think that was all I kind of wanted to say. A reminder, the song I mentioned is called Outro by a band called M83. Give it a listen. And of course, you know, Alan Watts is always worth a listen. Very clever man. I'll leave you with that wonderful sunset in the distance there.